Hello everybody, welcome. I'm doing else. Welcome. So basically, in this tarot card reading, this is going to be for Gemini for September 17th to September 23rd of 2025. So this is the reading for you, Gemini. I know that you need to understand what's going on in this reading, but the way how this is for you, Gemini, I need to understand both the way how it goes, and you have to believe that you need to understand to satisfy what you're going to be doing in that way. Because you have to know about how it is. This is not going to be a push and pull situation, but the way how this is, you have to understand that, right? This is not when you're having the nitty-gritty part, or the way how you can be succeeding, or the way how you're going to expose, or whatever it is. You're trying to understand that what you want, what you get, when you proceed with the ability from the right or wrong perspective. That's all you can do, but you have to understand that. That's the way it goes, right? So you have to believe in order to do that, and you have to understand about what's going on in the situation. No matter what the odds are, the way how it is, because that's the way it kind of is in that format. Because that's how it goes in that way, right? That's how it is. But keep in mind that this is just a reading, and I hope you all like it. Please give a like, please a comment if you want, and this is how it goes. So here we go. So this is how it is. Gemini, the judgment, you're taking action, that's how it goes. The King of Pentacles does represent money in this, the way how this is. The Knight of Swords does represent terminal Aquarius. You might be dealing with drama here, you might be. I don't know why, but, let's continue. The King of Wands does represent maybe passion, maybe it could be, it might be dealing with another Leo, Aries, Sagittarius in that way. The sixth one is already a celebration. Maybe you're going to be having your own celebrate, whatever it is, Gemini. But you need to understand that the way how this is, you have to know what's going on in the way how this is, in this the way of how it goes. So let me clarify. I'm going to clarify this Seven of Cups all the way to this Nine of Swords here. So Page of Cups, alright, there's loyalty. Seven of Cups, alright, there's positivity. The Three of Pentacles, alright, there's excitement because you might be talking about it. Maybe you're going to be having a three-way conversation. Maybe you're in a third party. The way how this is, you need to understand that the way how you're feeling in that way, because you're thinking, oh, everything seems to be fine. All right, this is how it goes. I don't want to do this anymore. Or the way how this is, you need to understand that. And when you do, you have to understand that where you have your own success, you know how it is, right? So if you're dealing with another Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, if you want to have victory on your side, or loyalty on your side, you know what it is, right? If you're going to be, deal with Leo as a fire sign, you need to be positivity, right? You need to act like that, right? That's how it goes. And there is the way how it goes. You're trying to have your own system to understand what you need, what you want, what you do in that way, because you're trying to do exactly how it is. You're trying to know what's happening in that way, because you have to do that in the way how it goes. What's this King of Pentacles about? For Wands viewers, there's no chaos. Page Wands viewers, there's no there's no invention, whatever it is. King Wands viewers, just viewers, you're not telling the truth. King Cups viewers, there's no support. Star viewers, there's no inspiration. High Priest viewers, there's no inner voice. But as soon as we're started, you're feeling deceit, right? Because you're not having, you're not telling lies. You're not trying to, whether you're making up lies or you're, having a bad day, whatever it is. Gemini, you need to understand where you have to get through your own way to understand what you want, what you get. Then you understand that, right? That's how it goes. And when things to be happening all at once, you have to care. You have to believe that, oh, everything seems to be fine. All right, this is how it goes. Yes. But in that way, you need to understand that this is the way how it goes. This is a wonderful outcome. This is the way how you can proceed with caution and ability from that. That's the way it seems to be. Let's begin this judgment and the 6 wands here. For Pentacles, alright, you want to think about money. Taurus is upright. There's transformation. Everything's changing. The 8 wands, alright, there's new beginnings. That's how it goes. So you might be focusing on another Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. You might be focusing on another Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. But there are things they need to learn in order to do that. That's the way it seems to be, so you have to understand that. What's his King of Wands about? The 5 Pentacles is upright. The Devil is upright. Ooh. And the 8 Wands, alright. There's speed here. The devil is upright because you might be addictions, or you maybe have obsessions. You might be dealing with another Capricorn as another Earth sign. But the way how this is, you're trying to know about the basic needs, the basic wants, because you need to understand it, right? That's how it goes. And when you do that, that's the left, right, and center here, right? That's how it goes, right? So you have to believe, in order to do that, you have to understand that, right? That's the way it seems to be. This is like maybe a long term or short term, but the way how this is, you're trying to have the way how this is not the. This is not the grain of salt. This is not the grain of pepper. This is not the grain of everything. No, but the way how this is, you need to understand that there is a way of knowing what to do, and you have to understand that, right? You have to go with the flow, and when you do it, it's like, all right, this seems to be happening. All right, I know what to do. Yes, but in that way, you have to understand what it is in that way, right? That's how it seems to be, and when you do it, that's the way how it goes in that way. What's the middle of this situation, please, for Gemini? The Taurus is upright. There's transformation. Yeah, everything's changing, right? Everything's changing. Now, when everything's changing, everything else, right? So let me clarify. The left side, please. The moon reverse, there's no mutations. The world reverse, there's incompletion. The star is upright. There's inspiration, so you wish upon a star. That's how it goes. When you have the world reverse, there's incompletion. It's like, why are you doing it? Why that there's things that you need to understand that, because that's how it goes, right? That's the way it is. So you have to understand that. And let's see what's on the right side, please. The Magician's story, you want skill. The Death card reverse, there's no endings. The Hierophant is upright, there's guidance. Exactly, right? That's how it goes. And when you do it, that's the way it seems to be, because you're trying to be who you are. You're trying to be authentic. You're trying to know what it is, and that's the way how it goes. What's this Moon card in this World card is? The Taurus reverse, there's no healing. The High Priest reverse, there's no inner voice. The Lower Star, there's decisions. There's decisions they need to make in order to do that, right? That's how it goes. And you have to proceed in the ability from the right wrong perspective. That's all you can do. But you have to take your own ways about considering what you want, right? So let me go from the middle to left, middle to right. So the Ace of Swords, there's no anxiety, right? Then the Knight of Cups here, there's no romance. Ten of Swords here, there's no conclusions. Empress here, there's no nourishment. Seven of Swords, alright, you're feeling deceit, right? So Gemini, you're focusing on another Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Maybe you need to understand that, but the way how it goes, you need to understand. And that's how it goes. You have to go with the flow. And when you do it, that's the way it seems to be, because you're trying to understand that. This is not a compass. Don't know which direction you're going to take, left or right. Or you're trying to figure out that, everything seems to be happening. But Gemini, you have to understand what you want, what you get, but then you have to understand that. That's the way it seems to be, right? This is a peer pressure. And when you do that, that's the way how it goes in that way. Let's read in the middle and the right side, please. The Nine of Swords here, there's no trauma. 10 of Wands here, there's no burdens. But the Queen of Cups story, there's empathy. Yes, because there's two sides of the story here. One makes sense, one doesn't make sense. You know what I mean, right? That's how it goes. And when you do it, that's the way it seems to be, because you have to stand that, right? This is the way of knowing what to do, and that's how it goes. What's in the middle of this situation? The King of Cups story, there's support. Yes, so when you have support, you have the ability to understand what you want and what you get, because that's how it goes. And when things be happening all at once, you know how it goes in that way. So let's see what's happening on the left side. The Hermit is upright because there's solitude. Maybe you're looking for a soulmate. The middle is upright. There's the Fool, because everything's changing. And the right side, you have the Moon is upright. There's moon's rotation. So everything is affecting by the Moon. Okay, so let's see what's going on. So what's this Hermit card for you? The Strength card of the Earth, there's no bravery. The Magician is upright. There's skill. All right. What's this opposite with this Strength card? The Hangman of the Earth, there's no restrictions, but the Hermit is upright. There's solitude. Right. So I just clarified the Hermit card, and you get the Hermit again, because you're trying to figure out that you want a soulmate. Maybe you're not, but it all depends on you. It all depends on how you're feeling in that way, because you need to focus on that. That's how it goes. What's this field card about? The High Priest is upright. There's inner voice. The Chariot reverse. There's no progress. Wheel of Fortune reverse. So you're having bad luck, Gemini. When you have bad luck, things are not going as the way how it goes. Everything is not happening all at once. When you're having bad luck, it's like things are, that's the way how it goes. But when you're using your inner voice, you have to understand that you need to believe that you can do it in that way, because you need to understand that, right? This is the way how it goes. This is like a life lesson, that's how it goes. And you're trying to impose what you're doing in that way, right? That's how it goes. And you have to accept what you want, what you get, but then that's how it goes in that way. What's this moon card about? The Temperance Spirit, there's no healing. The Emperor is upright, there's structure. What's this opposite with this Temperance card? The Fool is upright. There is change, because that's how it goes, right? That's the way it seems to be in that way, because that's the way it happens. What's this Wheel of Fortune about? The Emperor yours, there's no structure, but the Sun card is upright, there's positivity. Exactly. So you might be dealing with another Leo as a fire sign. Because Gemini, you need to understand to impose what you're doing in that way, because everything has to be all good. So this is the way it seems to be. So I'm going to go from the middle to left, middle to right. And once yours, there's no fear. Taurus yours, there's no healing. The Empress upright, there's nourishment. Six Cups upright, there's the past. The Ace of Pentacles upright, there's prosperity. Exactly. If you're thinking about the past, do not think about it, right? But if you are, and there's something that is dramatizing you, or whoever someone's picking on you, whatever it is, you need to understand that, Gemini. You need to go with the flow. And when you do it, that's the way it seems to be, because everything has to be all good and everything else in that way, right? That's how it seems to be. What's between the middle and the right side, please? King of Pentacles over, there's prosperity. Hermit is over, there's solitude. Nine of Swords is over, there is trauma here in the way how it goes. It's like, why are you doing it? But the way of this is, you need to understand the way how it goes in that way, because you have to understand that, right? This is like almost like having two peas in a pod, right? That's how it goes, right? You need to understand the way how it goes in that way, because you have to understand that there's a pressure point, and when you do it, that's the way it seems to be, because you're trying to, not crying or whatever it is. You're trying to saying, oh, I can't do this anymore, or I need to do accept what I need. That's how it goes in that way. And the middle is the way how it goes, where the middle card represents heartbreak, and it does represent like you're feeling sad, you're whimpering, that's how it goes, Gemini. And when you do it, it's like that's how it goes, right? It does affect how this reading goes for all of you who's a Gemini here. But the way of this is, you need to understand that's how it goes, and you have to understand about what's going on in that way, because that's how it goes in the way of how it goes. So you might be dealing with another Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus. You might deal with another Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. That's how it goes, right? So that's the way it needs to be. And what's this universe saying? So I'm going from the middle to the right, middle to the left. So 5 Pentacles here, there's no insecurity. 7 Swords, you're taking action. 7 Swords here, so you're not feeling deceit. The Temperance here, there's no healing. The 6 Pentacles here, there's no kindness, right? So you're being unkind. Gemini, you need to understand that when you have no kindness, you're being unkind, right? That's how it goes, right? So it's like, oh, everything seems to be happening all at once. That's how it goes. What's between the middle and the left side, please? The Queen of Wands here, so there's no charisma. 6 Cups are, there's the past. Hangman of Yours, there's no restrictions. The Wheel of Fortune yours, there's no you're having bad luck. 3 Swords yours, there's no heartbreak. Ace one sorry, there's new beginnings. Exactly, that's the way it seems to be. Right? That's how it goes. Let me clarify this 6 Pentacles here. The King of Pentacles over there's security. Exactly, that's how it goes. Right, so you understand how it is in that way. What's in the middle of the situation? Page of Pentacles here, there's no prospects. Ace of Pentacles over there's growth. Exactly, that's the way how it goes in that way, because that's the same, seems to be in that format. That's how it goes. But in theory, that's the way it seems to be, Gemini. You need to understand about the way how you're feeling in that way. You need to understand that. You need to approve of how you're feeling in that way, because that's how it goes. You need to understand that. And there is a way about understanding, right? That's the way it seems to be. And when you have your own diagnosis or how you're feeling, the way how it goes. You have to believe that. You have to understand that, right? Because there's a good saying is seeing is believing, believing is seeing. That's all you can do. But the way how this is, there is always a silver lining to every situation, no matter how you're feeling. Gemini. That's how it goes. So anyway, this is how it seems to be. I hope you all like this video. Please give a like, please a comment if you want. But this seems to be happening, and this is how it goes. So please give a like, please a comment, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye for now. Ready, thanks, and bye.